Alright, I am, welcome back everyone, this is Shadow Drake. Sorry, I had a message. Alright, so let's get back to this. So, we are going to, hotkey is 3. Let's resume building. So, we got my food, we got my water. This is completely manual because I'm an idiot and completely forgot about the fact that I needed, the gas sensor, so this is all manual. So now we're gonna build the deep miner, and I'm going to wire them, and I'm gonna basically take a pause from there because like I said, traditionally, whenever I do the deep miner, it tends to crash my game because of the fact that it just does a whole lot of mess with the whole digging and drilling, so it just kind of causes issues. And my deep miners are still in the rocket, correct? So I gotta eventually build a little, do I have walls? I should have walls. I have ladders, I have walls. Let's just be smart about this. Let's let's just, build an actual ramp so that I can get to it. Alright, so if I do this, I don't think this is healthy to leave on a rocket. It may or may not be, whatever. There, no more finagling around with this, so it should be the deep miners right now. Alright, let's see what came out. Oh, that's a lot of chutes. I forgot about them. I'm going to need these for sure. And now I'm starting to get concerned. Did I pack the electronic parts? I really hope I did. Oh, wait. I think I see them. There it is. My rocket is completely emptied. Oh boy. 1, 2. Alright. So let's get the rockets out there. So let's get the chutes out of the way. And let's go ahead and get these in. Now, because I have the memory of a goldfish at times, most of the times, where is my tablet? What did I do with my tablet? I put it away, didn't I? Oh, good grief. It's in there. Okay. So the iron copper silicon region is right here, which I had explicitly put this here to mark it. Then I had the silicon region, which is right here. And then there's the gold region right here. Now, if I remember right with my attention span of a goldfish, I think I wanted to do 1 silicon, 2 of the gold region, so that puts me at 0.4, 0.2, 0.4, 0.2, or 0.5 silicon, and 2 of the iron, copper, nickel. That puts me at 0.5 iron, 0.2 more silver, so that puts me at 0.7 silicon, and then that puts me at 0.3 copper. If I do 3, it'll be 0.75 iron, 0.45, 0.1. I'm starting to wonder if I should even... Well, I do want to bother with the silicon region, because... yeah, let's do 2. I think that might be enough. I can always adjust my numbers later. I cannot remember if I said that I was going to go with just 1 here for the 0.2, 0.1. Gold is very necessary. I kind of want to do 2 for now. Maybe I'll delete 1 and put it over there. So let's get started on that. Now, gold and silver is right around here. So what I want to do is... Oh, I want to say that building it here will work. If I put that there, is that gold and silver? I think from where I am is where it's building at, so that seems to be fine. Gold and silver. And then finally... Whoa, this is so weird. Okay. Right there? Is that still gold and silver? Seems like it. Okay. Now that that's there, I can go on ahead and build a pathway so that I don't fall through that. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Like so. Okay. Now I need the silicon. My cat is going crazy, of course. Silicon is right here. So I think the easiest thing for me to do is just quite literally make one right here like this. That should be silicon. Yep, that should be silicon. Now I need the iron. So right here, right here. I think what I want to do, can I build him right here? Requires terrain below. Like I'd like to have them in such a way that they can link up naturally, but right around here. So I want to put one right here and then the other right next to it. So I need to dig a little bit, but I also need to put terrain. I believe that allows me to, yep, place a deep miner. So the terrain manipulator tool actually allows the placement of the deep miner. Okay, so did I want it here? Up here is still iron, copper, silicon. Okay, okay, okay. So I want this there. Do I want it there? Dang it. This is such a... There, okay. Now, if I go over this, is that the gold region or is that... I don't trust that. I'm gonna remove it and bring it back one more. Okay, that should be fine right there. Now I can remove this. And build the other right there. And that should be the other one, because this is all iron, copper, silicon. Now let's go on ahead and dig this back out. All right, so that gives me the ability to walk. And I might as well just put this here too. Just make a nice walking grid. I don't know that I need plastic sheets, but I'm definitely gonna need the steel sheets. All right, so now comes the making of... Is that on top of... No, I removed that. I'm gonna go on ahead and build these up. So this should give me a stable supply of resources for a little bit. And then once I get these all wired up, I will have to save the game, and then I'll have to quit for the time being as I wait for these to hit bedrock, and then I will resume from there to continue the rest of my build. Because, like I said, digging a lot of terrain, messing with the terrain, for some reason, sometimes leads to memory leaks. And my computer does not like it. Sometimes servers don't like it either. It requires restarts for the game to just be happy about whatever's going on. And that's kind of frustrating at times. Now, what do I need for here? It's cable coils. Okay. Cable coils. Then it's going to be electron. Oh, it only takes 5? That's not a lot. Look, it's the next day. Okay, I forgot to build a pathway for this one. already did this, right? Yes, I did. Alright. You don't belong there. You don't belong there either. Alright, now I need the electronic parts that oh, in my inventory. I was freaking out for a moment. That's my deep miners. I'm really curious to see what the devs are going to do with the update, because Rocket had mentioned changing these so that, you know, they could be combustion, you can change out the miner heads, you know, stuff like that. Gotta dig out the thing for that. I'm really curious what the... Oh, that's the sort. That's not cool. You moved something I didn't want you to. Wait, where's my terrain manipulator? Should be there. There we go. Alright, so this should be strictly iron, copper, silicon. This should be strictly silver and gold. Okay, now I'm concerned. Yep, silver and gold. Turns to silicon there. This should all be silver and gold. Yep, that should be fine. That should be fine. Alright, perfect. Now remember that I wanted to keep the power limits within a specific range. I wanted to have no more than 3 kilowatts being used here. So, yeah. That's why I didn't want to go too crazy with deep miners. This is going to be finally some passive resource generation. It will heavily reduce the strain on my mining. I think, yeah, right there. Nope. Yeah, right there. And it's honestly something that I'm surprised I haven't built. But, I mean, before the terrain rework, when deep miners gave you a copy of all the ores, it wasn't needed. You know, it really, you didn't really need to go exploring. So it is initiative to go exploring now that we have this. You know, now that you have to build a system like this. And so I know it doesn't hit well that we have to do something like that, but there we go. Now the only reason I did the data port is because I want to manage the state of a silo. And if the silo gets full, I want to shut off the deep miners. Ideally, probably shut off the silicon first so that I can keep getting iron, copper, and silicon. You know, maybe, and then at a certain point I shut off one of each of those. And then finally just shut them off completely. You know, I want to build a management system that smartly handles the okay. That can smartly handle the... Oh man, this is gonna look really, really stupid to have this just floating in the sky like this. Do I want to do it that way, or do I actually want to build it like an actual silo? You know what? I think I'm just gonna build an actual silo right here. I didn't want to do it this way. Well, actually, hold on. If I build it like this, that gives me some room, because it allows me... I mean, I still gotta put the stupid thing up there, you know, like... I say stupid, but I still gotta connect it in such a weird way that I gotta run the storage up there. And this is kind of what what I'm going for. This is going to be the storage. This is going to be the everything else, but I'm not gonna fully finish it just yet because I need to get the whole thing running. The silo does not use a lot of power. I'm actually kind of concerned that it might be too close to the rocket and it might actually start burning to a crisp. We will see what that happens when I have to launch it. But, you know, I want to get the controls really squared away to manage my deep miner so that they stop when, when I have an excess of them. I want to be able to, control these, get stackers and everything. So let me save the game right here, because this is the point where I am going to turn these on, and basically we're going to come back after these have made it to the bottom. I'm not going to do anything. Worst case, I'll just have a bunch of dirty ore that I can stack and start just throwing into my silo. So be right back. All right, welcome back. I don't know why I'm saying welcome back. It's literally been a jump cut. Okay, I finally have dirty ore out there, so that means that it is now ready. We are now ready, and I've just been basically recharging these batteries, so I'm just going to, well, actually, yeah. Let's just put this back into my portable light. I ate and drank. I am now ready to resume my work, because it's time to resume my work out there. Alright, so I see dirty ore on the ground, which means, yeah, they've reached the bottom. Oh, yeah, I should probably save. They reached the bottom. That means now I am making passive ore generation. And every 50 is going to go into the silo, like so. So now I need to... So now I need to basically try to figure out how I'm going to do this. Now, sorter, don't think I really need right there. I need the stacker because I need the stacker. The loader is another thing. If I remember right, I kind of want to put that right here. Wait, that takes two of them? Oh, heck no. Heck no. If it takes two of them, I'm gonna have to use the stacker. Okay, so that's the thing. The loader should be like right here. So that means I will need a stacker right here. And where's the loader? The loader is... Yes, okay, so stacker right here. I didn't know that needed two of them. If that needed two of them, I probably would have thought that through a little bit better. Alright, so... Oh, that's the unloader! Stacker. There we go. And doesn't really matter what I put it to, so we're just going to do 100. So dang, that means I have to come back here with more stackers so that I can finish that task up. Now, I'm sure you might be wondering, it's like, well, what happens with the fact that I am basically combining these? The answer to that is nothing really, to be honest. So now I am expecting to probably put a loader right here. So I am going to put a window right here and right here. That way I know where to... Stop it! Stop throwing dirty ore everywhere! And then I'm just going to basically shoot it up here. So I believe a 5 is too much, so it needs to be a 3. Let's do the corner first. And get up here. Perfect. Alright. Now, here's where here's the tricky part. And I'm going to use basically long shoots like so. So that I know exactly where this is placed, so that I know where these are going to intersect. And unfortunately, I have done an oopsie, and it seems like I put these in roughly the same location. But I don't believe that junctions... Yeah, junctions cannot connect with each other like that. So I have to have a little bit of an offset here. So... So looks like this is what I gotta do. So this is basically gonna be the train for this junction, and it looks like I'm gonna need a junction right here. This way. Junction right here. And Actually, this actually might work out pretty okay. Yeah, this is gonna work out well because then I need a junction. Oh, this is not gonna work out very well. Uh, shoot. Stop! Stop pooping stuff. Okay, so like here, like so, like so. Ugh. Then a 3? No, I can do it with the 5. Yeah, perfect. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Okay, so that squares that away. Oh boy. Okay. What I think I am going to need to do is put a chute inlet right here and put a junction right here temporarily until I can basically get this all squared away. Alright, now as far as things go, I need a chute here, a chute there. I might expand this system. I don't think I will, so I'm going to put a junction right there. Junction right there. Okay. Believe a 5 will work. Now, yep, looks like a 5 will work. Ooh, that got squished. Alright. That's one of them. Gotta collect all the dirty ores right here. Ah, okay. I swear, these seem to be generating ore faster than I'll remember them doing. Okay. Now, I don't need this here taking up space. Okay. Please tell me I brought enough chutes for this whole system. 5, right? Alright. That's the gold. The gold is now good. The gold should now be generating stuff. 10. Now, I was told that C for rotation will work for this, and this actually works pretty well. You know, when it actually seems to link up really well. Okay. Yep, that's way too much. Alright, so the design goal for this is clearly that I will be managing the silos filled state. I need a 3. Come on. I really don't like the way this rotation is. Oh. Perfect. Alright, that one is now ready. Hey. Hey you. Got it. I really don't like the way that the rotation for some of this is, for the longer ones. Because, one, I do have trouble with it. Just in case I want to build more. Does a 5 fit? I'm actually amazed how well a 5 fits in this. There we go. Now, did it drop some more dirty ore somewhere? Alright. Alright, so what have we learned from Shadowdrake's really wasteful management of resources? Probably shoot these things up, but now I don't know if I have some dirty ore that's gonna fall to the ground or something. Ooh, that looks cool. This is like a magma chamber right there. Alright. Now that I am essentially filling this silo, there's already 6 of them here. Now I actually have to come up with the system for filling, which is... Can I do a 5? Alright, come on. There we go. And another 5. Where do these intersect? Kind of in a weird place, so you know what? A 1, a 2, a 3. How many Tootsie? Please tell me I'm not out of shoots. Oh no. I am out of shoots. I didn't bring enough shoots. I didn't bring enough shoots. Ah! Okay. I might be able to salvage this. Who am I kidding? I can't salvage it. Alright. So I got that. I got that. The only way I can salvage this is if I turn these to corners, because that's the only way I can salvage it. That only gives me another 5 shoots. Shoot. Do I have any other shoots? The answer to that is no. I can't believe I did not bring enough shoots. Ah, okay. So I have to make do with what I got. Does it cost 3 exactly when I do this? Yes, it does. Dang it. Okay. Because the problem with that is... Alright, so that does not fit. I need a 3. And then you see, this is where I barely have enough. Oh, that is just barely enough. Oh! Success! And deleting this is not going to give me 3. Yeah, that's not going to give me extras. But I can do this. So, okay, what do I need? A ridiculous number of shoots. And now I can basically put the window back right here. Because I am intending to put a window right here. Alright. So my deep miner outpost is doing its stuff. Now basically comes the fact, well, I don't need this silo right here. This sorter is meant to be a logic sorter. And it's going to be right here. Now, the only reason this is going to be right here is because I intend to use this logic sorter to be a cardboard box thing. But it seems like I think I need to go on I kind of wanted to see how well the unloader was going to work, but I didn't bring enough stackers. Which kind of sucks. I really wanted to see how well that worked. Should I run back to the base and print out one more stacker for that? No. Let's get all of this squared away first before I resume. Now, I intend to have this IC housing right here because I'm gonna need to make the controls. So I need this over here. And I am going to need both of these logic transmitters, which are over here somewhere. There we go. I got 3 of them. Now, the annoying thing about this is they are very finicky about their placement. So, you know, while I can do something weird like this, it's not going to work out very well. So, ugh. So this is going to be silo... Or, I don't care. This is going to be sorter box. The sorter box. Because I want it to sort out cardboard boxes. Because one thing that I was thinking is potentially filling the miner. Not the miner. The rocket with a bunch of cardboard boxes. So that when this rocket comes in with them, it'll push the cardboard boxes here so that it will go through the packer, the loader, and it's gonna load the dirty ore into the boxes, stacks of 50 of them, and then it'll go to the silo, and then the silo will reload the rockets with stuff. So now that I have dirty ores making, it's gonna take a while before I have enough to fill up that rocket. I have the thing on, don't I? Wasting power. And you see, I'm at 8. I can do 300, but I want to get this squared away in such a, this rocket squared away, not rocket, this outpost squared away so that if that fills past a certain point, I shut off some deep miners. Now, here's the problem that I kind of put myself into. I think, like, I know I wanted to put only certain deep miners, so deep miner mix, deep miner mix. I wanted to put just like an like a batch instruction. Deep miner silicon, deep miner AU for basically gold. I mean, it's gold and silver, but whatever. And I wanted to do, like, as it fills up, I wanted to limit down what deep miners are active, but I guess for the time being, I'm just going to do a huge logic where if the SDV silo is... What is my data that I can see from the SDV silo thinking about it? Configuration, cartridge. Let's see. Quantity is 9. Is there a ratio? There is not a ratio. That's interesting. Usually there's a ratio that tells you how much there is, but since there is not, whatever. Looks like I can work without that. Okay, so let's see. I have a lot of materials I can take back. Yeah, I'll take most of these back, like the piping. I'll keep the cabling here just because I might need the cabling, but, well, one of each. Steel sheets. Definitely gonna bring back some steel sheets. You know what? I will leave a stack of 50 of everything except for the glass sheets. I'm gonna leave 11. So this I'm taking back. Steel frames. I'll leave 50. That's how much I'm taking back. I'll bring back the iron sheets. I'll leave the stacker here. I'll leave a 50 just in case I need to build something else. And yeah, that's basically what I'll leave. And then I'll just grab the piping because I do not want to leave piping here. I'll leave this silo just in case. Okay, so I've squared away my stuff for what I want to put in. Now comes the actual part of automating. So that sorter box, I gotta put a code for it. Okay, good. That one now is fully charged. All right, so what I am going to do is I'm going to go on to kind of keep this safe. I'll put those transmitters there. Let's wear my backpack. Okay, so what do I want to do? I do want to create kind of like a, similar to how I did the Sterlings, I need to make like a step register thing so that from home base, I give commands to the outposts. Like, for example, 0 is all good. 1 is, I need, 1 is the rocket is landing. Yeah, 1 is the rocket is at the outpost. Extend the umbilicals. 2 would be offload the rockets. Get rid of the cardboard boxes and stuff that might be in the rocket just in case I want to do something more fancy with it. Like what if I wanted to put nuclear batteries in there as well? You know, I'd like to load the rocket with this stuff, and that's what, for stuff like that. If I really want to go all out with that, am I still? Yes, I am talking. So I need to be able to. So this is let's see, base, receive base, and outpost status. So that's what I want. I want to be able to. Oh, I really hope I have enough cables for this. I want to be able to do that. Make sure that I send the data and I know how to process the data in here. So now for that, I want to say if I set this to active, that means you can't set this, but now I can send the outpost status. Now, I can set this receiver, for example, from the base, but for the time being, I'm going to send it to outpost status. Because one of the things I'm not entirely sure is, I know that's a transmitter that sends. Is it possible for me to write to the receiver and that sends to the transmitter? So I'm just going to do a couple of tests because, as far as things go, it is a possibility. So let's just do a quick thing. So I want this outpost status and receiver base to always be the top two things. Um, Let me just save because I'm scared of the lag spikes because I know that the deep miners are done, but sometimes weird things happen. All right, so let's pause a bit. Alias. Okay, so hold on. This is the outpost remote control control system. Base comms D0, alias outpost comms D1. I probably got that backwards. Yeah, I got that backwards. Uh, that's simple. Just copy paste 0 1. Okay. Main and yield JMain. Okay. Now, again, I'm not sure that setting the receiver will set the other side. So let's just do that. So let's do an S base comms setting, capitalize, setting 65, whatever. Right? There. Oh. Oh. It does work. I did say that right. Okay. Yeah. Base comms, receive base. Yeah. Interesting. I've never thought about that. Like, huh. Oh, this makes things so much more complicated now for me because here's the thing. I I actually thought this was a one-way system, and this also went with the whole fact that the whole those things, whatever they're called, the microwave transmitters. I created a whole crazy setup script for that purely because I didn't think that it was a true two-way system. Like that. So I was wondering, it's like, what is a good way to program them? Because I can read the receiver data and then I can program the transmitter data, and I never thought to actually write to the receivers through the transmitter, and now I'm finding out that I can do that. The question is, oh, how can this be? How can I use this to my advantage? because this changes a lot of things. So okay, so here's what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's say that this is my outpost and this is my base. So that means I could, similar to like the let me just find a logic sorter. Similar to like the stack payloads commands here, I could compose a code to do something. Like like for example, if it's time for this to mine, the base could put like some kind of operate. I could compose like a operator code or something and send it through the transmitter. Like I don't know. Like if I'm sending something to the base, I could do like the operator code of like two, and you know that'll be all that I send. One means rocket has landed. You know, two means proceed with do communications. Like from the base. This is a terrible place. So one is like rocket has landed. Two equals proceed with offload. Three equals proceed with onboarding. Four equals retract umbilicals. And then zero equals normal operation. You know? Something like that. And then from from the transmitter to the base, I can do something different. I could encode something differently in specific areas. Like, oh, here's how it works. Because I'm working with like 16, because I'm working with an integer setting or something like that. I could reserve the base to the outpost to have, to use the first 8 bits. This is 8 bits. I really don't need much more. Hold on. I think yeah. Be right back. My food has just arrived. All right, my smoothie has arrived, and I'm gonna try my hardest not to be drinking it while doing this. So, okay, where I was going. So I could encode stack commands. For example, the base could send to the rocket, and it uses the first 8 bits. So at the base, what I'm gonna do is essentially insert the first 8 bits to whatever the setting is. It'll read the setting, insert the bits, and send it down that way. And then for here, this is where I'm gonna have to be really careful about this. I need to send the status for how much in the silo, and also what's its operating mode, because it needs to sync up with the base. So so the first 8 bits, the first 8 bits is the base commanding the outpost. Then I'll have another 8 bits for the outpost commanding to, and this is between bits. I think it's 15 to 8. Yeah, 8 to 15. Yeah, 8 to 15, and this is 0 to 7. And then how much in the silo is going to be a 16-bit. So, just like this one, 16 to 31. So 16 to 31. So that's the goal. So the outpost is going to generate this code, what it's doing, and it's just going to be reading what the state is to see if I need to do something. So like, okay, so we're gonna let's alias R15. Alias R15. Hold on, this is comms. And I am going to set outpost comms setting R15. So what we're going to do is we're going to load comms outpost comms setting. And I know we're going to reset it back over there. And so what I am going to do is it's not insert, it's extract. alias base command. So for that, it's base command, and I believe this is correct. Extracts a bit field from A, so that's comms, beginning at B, so that's 0 for length, C. So that's what it'll be, and then we're just going to rewrite. We're going to rewrite comms to that. Okay. So let me just comment this out so that I have notes for this. So this is going to be a very quick and dirty communications thing. So for diagnostics, we're gonna SDB setting. Oh, comment that out. Let's actually cut that and put that over here for testing. 65 SDB setting base command. Now I should see 65 on the housing. Ah, come on. Yeah, 65 on the housing. That makes sense. So hold on. What we're gonna do is we're gonna load R0 Outpost comms setting, and then we're just going to insert to R0. This is incorrect. Inserts bit field A into provided. This wasn't right. Or did that get corrected? I completely forgot how to. Okay. Oh, hold on. Before I check something, let me just write that to the chip so that I don't lose my place. It's time to empty. Time to empty is the one that has the insert field. So insert. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, so insert position length the number. Position length number. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. Position length number. I really don't like that's busted because of that. So insert. We're just gonna do R0 right here. Insert to R0. Position 0. Length 8, and we're gonna do a number. So let's do 20. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna adjust what I send to base comm, what I'm gonna put at comms, and I want to be able to see if I can extract it appropriately. This is like a single chip setup. If I had multiple, if I had brought other housings, this probably would be better. Um, hmm. Oh, so okay, so that seems to work. So now let's grab SDB silo. So SDB silo or that's D3. So alias silo D2. The D2. What am I talking about? Let's load. I just realized something. That could cause a huge issue right there. Okay. I don't need that. Let's load to R0, and that's silo, and we want quantity. And just so that I make sure that we're good, I want to see what R0 is to make sure that I got the correct quantity. 13. That should be 13 over there. Okay. I'm gonna go check it out real quick. Look, accuracy is important in this. Good. It's now 14. Okay, good. If that says it's 14, we're good. Stop it! Stop loading my. Stop working. Yeah, it says 14. Okay, good, perfect. So now what I want to do is, so I got the quantity. Now I need to do an insert to comms, uh, position is 16. I want 16 bits because it can go up to 600, and 600 if and 8 bits I believe was up to 256. I believe so. Look, it's been a while. Taking a sip. Trying to be really quiet as I'm drinking my smoothie. And I want to put in R0. So SDB comps. So, oh, that looks like a funky number right there. Okay. But 917524. I am writing the number 20. So, okay, hold on. I gotta pull my binary calculator in my computer. I really do like to work with the binary calculator quite a bit because it really does help me match those up. And you saw me, if you've watched my tutorials for whatchamacallit, 917524, 917524. Oh, I forgot to be in programmer mode. 917524. Yeah, that seems to be about right. That seems to work out right. So 917524, and I'm gonna need another insert command. So what is the operating mode? So yeah, that'll okay. Alias. I don't want to do mode. Step R13. And right at the end here, that's what I want to do. I want to insert to comms position 8 for 8, and I want step. And let's just say I'm move step 1. Okay. I want 780. So it looks really messy right there. Okay. But just to make sure that I got things right, I need to extract base command. So the easiest thing for that is, I'm extracting it right here. And we already showed that that worked because I could do base command right here, set db of base command. And I see that I get a 20. The value is 917780, and as soon as the silo gets something in there, 7780, as soon as the silo gets something in there, this is going to go up. So as you can kind of tell, I did some kind of really botched command, stack payload command, so that I can understand what the base is telling me to do and what I'm sending to the base. Because on the base side of things, I can do basically the extract commands. I will do, rather than this, I will extract, the quantity in the silo, some number, so that I know how much is in my outpost, and then I can also extract what the outpost is doing, so that I can properly sync things up. Because for the step, so 0 equals idle, just function normally. Let's define deep deep mines. So deep miner. All right, so that defines the deep miner. So that if for some reason my silo gets filled up in quantity or to some amount, I just basically tell them to shut off. There's no reason for the outpost to keep generating more deep miner ore, bog down the whole system, and then just be wasting power, not doing anything. I mean, there's no point for that. So I might as well just tell them all to shut down. And if I get to that point, then I for sure need to know that I gotta send a rocket this way. Yes, it changed. Now, if I want to know exactly how much was in there, let's see. Let's let's extract to R1, and we want comms, and we start at 16 for 16, and then we're just going to put R1 right here. 15. So that's what we get. So that's the quantity of the silo, 15. Now, do I want to do something? I don't know that I want to do like a max state. Like I know that silos are 600, so at the base I could go and say, hey, my silos are whatever 15 divided by 600 is. It's, you know, 2.5% full. But that's something I can deal with. Now, what I need to do, so I defined the deep mines, and I need to define the cargo chutes. No, the chute umbilicals. So umbilicals. Umbilical. Oh boy. Shoot, that's this one. Okay. So let's do an alias. Open R12, alias silo open R11. So what I'm going to do is put those here. SB what did I call them? The sum. I should probably change that name. Open. Look, I'm not very good with namings. S silo open. S open. I really am not good with names. I'm sorry. Okay, so when I do this, yep, the umbilicals will retract. I want them active for the time being, so let's just move open to 1. There we go. Okay. See, this is stuff I want to organize. And that.
Incoming.
Oh no! Dang it! Do I have to weather the storm out over here? That's gonna suck. Ah. Oh, you want to know the other thing is I don't know what storm is incoming. I haven't done anything to see whether it's gonna be a solar storm or it's going to be a windstorm. Okay. I'm gonna have to weather out the storm out here. This kind of sucks. I'm still working on this. Oh well. Okay. So what do we do? I'll probably go over a lot more of this coding a little bit later because I'm actually pressed on time, and I do want to theory craft it, but basically zero will be idle. The thing is operating. I gotta create the settings so that I stop the deep miners when the alias deep miner on R10. I think that's an easy one. So let's just say SLT deep miner on when R0, which is the quantity, is less than I'll do 600. But for the time being, let's do 2 because I want to see those shut off as soon as I. And you know what? The funny thing is, I didn't even program that. So SB deep miner on DM on DM on. What did I call it? Deep mines. Deep mines. Perfect. They stopped. That's what I want to see. All right. So when it's less than 600, I want the deep miners to turn on. So that's very simple. Very quick and dirty and simple. So Okay, that should turn them back on. Yep, they're all on. Okay, so when we return next time, I think I'm gonna do basically a code-heavy video as I basically wait out an entire storm. So yeah, I'll come up with the skeletal system for this side of things, and then I'm gonna try to go to the base and try to. Oh, that's gonna be scary. And try to make this work based on the what the base is saying. This that's actually gonna be a little bit scary. Oh man, that's gonna be kind of scary. All right, so I'll try to figure out how a good way for me to do that. The good news is that I'm only 500 meters away, so and I also don't want to make this get too hot. Thank you for your time. Hope to see you when I return, and I'll have a good idea for working this. Thank you, and have a good day. Bye bye.